second one off. I
Yeah,
don't know
okay.
whether, um, and I mean, I don't know, maybe that's like a complicated what if, like really borrowing too much trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like there are certain things that are not available on it. And I'm like, how big of an issue is it that like I don't have better discounted pricing on these things, or that I like can't tie in my shipping accounts to it, you know?
Got it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, how long have y'all been running ads to the second store for now?
Like I want to say it's been like 2 months probably.
Okay.
Um, and I mean they're like at first I was always like this is like the whatever store,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's like looking like it's earning pretty well. Like it's actually almost earning as much as the first store, but at
Mm-hmm.
a lower um ad spend per day. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just this week. He's like, don't get too attached to your
Yeah, yeah.
to your
That's so
little
true.
like
Mm-hmm.
top shot. I'm like, but right now I'm like, they're looking like not terrible. Like,
They're
what's
doing
going
good.
on here?
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as the number of paperback orders, they're nothing like um some of the people who are just like a billion a day. But
Mm-hmm.
like I had a special thing this weekend. I had like 18 orders go out. And um and like a couple of them were from the second store,
Got it.
and I was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know.
So to kind of answer your question, you can use the same pixel, especially since it'll be the same store, just upgraded if you were to duplify it from the upgraded version to start. I would take
Okay.
it up with Cameron as well, but you can absolutely do
Yeah.
that. Like that's easily done, easily possible. Because you could just essentially
Okay.
disconnect that pixel and then reconnect it to the upgraded version once you duplify it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff set up with it right now. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
but
Time
it,
versus,
I know, but I'm just like, well, if I have that list of like little things that I'll have to do.
mhm.
Um, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe
I'll
it's
double check with
something,
him, but it's just like it's
yeah.
one of those things where it's like, oh no, I'm starting to notice that I really should have done it this other way. And I
Hmm.
know there's no guarantee that they won't just be like, cheater, you still have to like that,
Yeah.
you still have to pay for all this other stuff, but they haven't done that with the first account yet. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it
I
could
don't
be
know.
something too that you want to do down the line too, especially the more that more traffic that comes to the store. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll keep that in my like this is maybe not a terrible idea list.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So
And
I have a question.
yeah.
Um, I have been like 3/4 sprint sales this week,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna sell out again pretty quickly. And I know I have more books coming probably in a week.
Hmm.
Am I able to like say to keep selling and be like, okay, they're, in stock on this date? And, if I just make it super, super, super clear, um,
Yes, absolutely. A lot of authors will do like they'll put sold out on the actual image of their bundle if it's sold out, and then you'll also just want to, clarify and show that if an order's coming in later, you'll just want to make sure to show that your orders will get here by this date, something like that. So,
got it. Okay.
mhm.
Yeah, I did finally get book 5 back in stock, but um 1 to 4 almost out.
Yeah,
So
it's a good
um
issue to have.
it's a good issue to have, but
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So sold out on the image and then
Hmm.
just super, super make it clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, got it. Okay.
Yeah, you
And
can
Or
put it
could
in the
you say something like not sold out? Because like if they're just scanning, could you say like new inventory arriving and like orders shipping on such and such date or something? Put something like you could still do it on the image, but not so that it's like because
yes.
like for me, I probably wouldn't look past the sold out. I'd be like, well, shit, you know.
like put the date on the image too, maybe,
Yeah,
or new
something. I mean, you could
inventory.
put something and then or like when I had something where it wasn't running, I put it in the description also, or like I put like a bold thing there. So I didn't change the image, but I should have. That would have been a smart way to do it. But I mean, between those two things, you can probably like feel confident still selling. The only thing I think is TikTok, right? With their
Yeah,
like,
this one actually isn't hooked to TikTok, thank God. So I can keep selling it, but yeah, I know I couldn't on TikTok. That would be a disaster. But um yeah, I was trying to figure out how can I keep that going while now granted when it lands I'll have a mountain to pack, but I have increased my handling time. Is 3 to 5 days, that's average, reasonable?
Yes. Yeah.
That's average
Completely.
reason. I was
Yeah.
doing 3 days because like TikTok. Um, but my other question around that, I did stick on my site that I'm no longer able to take personalization.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's okay. I stuck
Absolutely.
it there and stuck it in like my first email that goes out to people.
Hmm.
People are asking me to doodle stuff. I'm like, I just don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
Um, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to slim that down. So that's great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Here's an example. This isn't an example of like the sold out or orders will come at this time, but this is an example of like what a graphic would look like if you put something on the top up there. You see where it says only Christmas land, that sort of thing.
Got
So
it.
just
Okay.
clarifying with people so that they know um when it will come, when it will be shipped by, that sort of thing.
that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did used to do stuff like that on TikTok, and then they didn't allow that anymore. So then I just stopped doing it everywhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
I even have a template for it.
Good. Awesome. Perfect.
No, where do you order your books from? Like is it from
Uh,
KDP or is it Ingram or
PDP, I've had so many damaged orders. It, they're like last resort. Book Vault UK is my main one. Um, I think Book Vault UK, 48-hour books. If you want them fast, like usually takes like maybe a week for the first time you order 48 hours. And then after that, it's 5 days. Um, that comes the fastest. But Book Vault UK, most of the orders have been decent. Some have had pretty icky damage, but they take care of it really quickly. But KDP has been 2 weeks and then the whole order will come trashed. Like just I had one with food on it the other day.
Oh
It
my
was like,
God. You're
no.
like, what are you thinking when they send that stuff? I had one that like it was the entire outside felt like it was covered in Vaseline and you could see the handprint. And I was like, I'm trying to get this in a picture to show you, but like it's like
That
you really
actually
have to
comes off
feel
with
it.
water. Ask me how I know.
Oh my God. That the reason I was asking is actually because of the amount of damage. And um the other thing is that so like these are the ones that I sell the most of, the series. And like the original model covers are black cover and like if they print it on their weirdest machine, they look fine. It just doesn't show. But because they're white with like this kind of gray thing that wraps around and they all are every book in the series is like that. Apparently they have machines that are set to like different settings for color. And so I would get some that were like white with purple as the accent, and some that were white with like gray or like yellowish with like gray. And I'm like, what the? So
So like with the colors, every single printer I've printed with has variation in colors, but if you do 48-hour books, I order in batches of 125 at a time, so it is a layout.
oh my
And
gosh,
that's per book. That's per book. Um,
that's amazing. I'm like seriously like the so pea green with like envy right now. Oh my God.
well, you're not doing 10 hours of packing every day. So
Oh
there's
my
that.
God.
But Yeah, 48 hours. If you do them, they're gorgeous and they come shrink wrapped. And I only ever have maybe one or two that's damaged per order.
Okay,
And
okay.
they're about the same price as the Book Vault UK. I wouldn't use Book Vault US, and I wouldn't use Ingram, especially Ingram doesn't refund damage anymore. So if you get it damaged, you're that's it.
No, I am literally setting
Yeah.
up all of my books. I spent like the last freaking 3 days redoing my covers to like fit their template. You don't, okay. Well, here's what I will say about KDP. I, if you use their bot, the refund or the replacement thing is a disaster. But if you email them, email the actual like KDP people and jump through like all their little hoops of like photograph of the damage, photograph of the product number, um, all of the little information, including half of these are printed gray and the other half are printed purple. They actually they sent me, I don't know, 8 times 15, like that many reprinted copies, all with the gray, and which was amazing, except that like one of the titles was not included in it. I have none that match there. So like KDP is actually very good about if you get to the right person, like if you get to the right group, um, we'll see what happens because I just emailed them back and was like, hey, I appreciate you sending me all of these replacements. That was amazing. But now I need 15 of this other book that wasn't in there. I'm going to order it, but can you make it sure it prints gray too? I mean, I don't know whether they'll actually do that, but
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't love how much damage I get because I only ordered like 500 books, which for me was bananas. But 28 of them were like beyond use. Like they were so messed up. And I was like, that's kind of a lot for, I don't know.
Yeah, I
And
actually
that wasn't even a color issue. That was just like garbage, like cut short, wrinkled up. I don't know, printed backwards.
I have
But
found with KDP some areas and some addresses are people will get books that are fine. And then some areas and addresses, people consistently get books that are just completely trashed. And that's me. I get like I'll get hundreds. I had one entire order of like 120 books just completely trashed over Christmas. And
gosh,
just so I don't depend on them because I do need it. Like I had an order of book fives that came in completely trashed just last week and I ran out. So I had to quick scramble and get that at 48-hour books
yeah.
and it still took a week. But like if KDP is okay, like they're 40% cheaper than anywhere else. Except
Wow.
maybe Book Vault US, but Book Vault US, I think the quality is worse. Um, but like Book Vault UK and 48-hour books and Mixum have the best quality. Mixum also allows not safe for work art, if that's a thing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
No,
but
I don't have any of that.
yeah.
Like, not opposed to it. I just haven't gotten around to it. So, um, okay. Thank you so much. That's super interesting. I literally was like, oh, Ingram's gonna be my savior. I mean,
Like
I'm like
they can be
90%
okay, but
there. I
if
have
you
to like finish. We'll see
if
what
you
they send
order
me.
at the second to not the cheapest shipping, but the one up from that, then they will refund damages, but it just costs a lot more. So
Yeah, yeah. That's not exciting to look forward to. Okay. Okay. If that's good information to have, I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions?
I do have a question again.
Yeah, no problem. Go
But
ahead.
if someone else was had any questions. So I'm looking at I want to get the rest of my stuff in print and it's not. Um And I also want to get my stuff in hardback for for more formats. Is it better to go wider and get the rest of everything in paperback first, or go vertical and get like the series that's selling in hardback? I guess I'm trying to find where to sink my time first
Yeah,
most effectively.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say that right now you're at the point where you could add on the hardbacks. And in terms of like importance, I would say if you wanted to stick with one to not add on too much to your plate, the main offer is going to be the way to go.
Got it. Okay, so that would be the hard covers.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at making like foiled paperbacks and stuff
Okay.
like that too. I mean, I know that's going really well on TikTok. Is that
Yeah.
something that's going well on Shopify?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's not purchased nearly as much as, the ebooks and the regular paperbacks, but you could add them on as like exclusive bundle copies, that sort of thing. And they do work really well.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, they're not actually that much more expensive.
Yeah, you could kind of like phrase them though so that they're exclusive in a sense. And just you could tack on a little bit more price than the regular bundle just so that they look more exclusive as well. But yeah, those definitely work well.
And I have had people asking me for like discrete covers, a
Mhm.
different cover. Would that be worth looking at? I don't want to put too many formats and then it gets confusing. So
Yeah,
I guess I'm trying to see what's going to be the most effective there.
I would say go with the thing that's being asked the most. Because yeah, we don't want too many formats at once. For the main bundle, I would say hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook is gonna be our main ones.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Mhm.
if I would like, so if I'd like combine different covers with foil, which
Mhm.
that would do that together,
Mhm.
um, would I be better selling that like as a separate product that's not hooked to the bundle?
Yes.
Or and then it's not as confusing right there because I just
Mhm.
don't want a billion variants right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be better off selling that as like a separate
Got it. Okay.
part. Mhm.
Ella, this Christmas bundle you showed us of Anne Marie's, does she sell this year round or like just during the holidays? Do you know?
She has it for sale year round on her store.
Okay. Okay.
But her still main offer on her ads is the Ultimate Book Bundle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing a Christmas box, obviously closer to Christmas,
hmm
uh, with some, I don't know, like holiday goodies in it and stuff, but that's a ways off.
Yeah, absolutely. She does a lot of her sales too on TikTok Shop as well. So those Christmas boxes do really well during the holidays too.
Okay, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So if you don't have like a Christmas, I don't have a Christmas book because I write like sci-fi.
hmm
But would that be something that's worth having, like taking all the books and making like Christmassy things during the holidays?
I would
Or
say not necessarily Christmas themed, but like gift themed maybe. So tailoring it towards like this is the perfect gift for someone this holiday, that type of thing.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, then just a bunch of exclusive things or
Yeah,
different things to kind of
yeah,
shake it up. Okay.
exactly.
Actually, I'm like curious about, so in my effort to like attract attention any way that I can do it, I have like made little stickers for that go for, with each book and this and that. And then I realized I was sending out like half an inch of stickers in like each box. And I suspect a lot of these people have not actually read the books, and I like whether they're like it's probably just wasteful. And so I was like, okay, maybe dial it back a little and just send out like a, three or something. But um, but I was thinking about a sticker, like an add-on, or I had actually two kind of like upsell kind of ideas. One was like you know, right now with the ebook bundles, we have it where if you buy this, you and you know, get this other one for like 15% off or whatever.
Mhm.
But with the paperbacks, I was thinking about doing one where like you could get the sticker pack, like the sticker pack could go with it. Um, but again, maybe that's just like silly to spend your time on. Like I have a lot of people that don't want to go and buy the whole paperback set. You know, I mean, it's expensive and it's like takes up a bunch of space, blah blah. And they're not like gorgeous, right? I mean, they're like okay. And so the idea of putting like, I don't know, putting that up and adding it to like the tie-in, um, whether that makes sense to do or if it's just sort of like why don't bother,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
The only thing with
Go
that
ahead, you
is,
do that's part A. You tell
okay,
me what you think about that.
got it. The only thing with that is the price point. What price point are you looking to put those stickers at?
I am not I don't know. Like I was thinking like $5 for like the whole thing or something.
Mhm.
But
I mean, on your paperback product, you could try adding on a product add-on. I would still keep the main product add-on that you have, like whether that be the ebook variation or the audiobook bundle of that specific bundle. But then you could add on the stickers
okay,
as like another add-on below. Um,
okay,
and people might take it. I mean, you could absolutely test it out. There's no harm in testing that out, especially if it's not your main offer of the ebook bundle.
yeah.
Because there
It's
there
like
could
I'd
be quite
almost
a few
like to
people.
for somebody if like the paperback buyers wanted it and were
Mhm,
buying the bundle, I would be like happy to give them all of them, right? Like
mhm,
so it would be like a free thing, perfect, you can have it. For the people who don't want it, it's like then that would be like a separate purchase, I guess.
mhm.
And it's like then you get into like the shipping and like what happens if this like $5 thing gets like crinkled in the mail and then they're like and it costs you $10 to ship it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know. Okay, so the other thing that though the other part of that question was and this is the first time that it's even come up in 4 months. But somebody emailed me today and they're like, I'm very excited about getting your paperbacks. Do the ebooks come with them? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm like, sure. You know, so I sent her the a thing so she could get them for free because to me that seems like, you know, okay. But and when I kind of pulled my actually I think I might have even emailed Cameron to ask him about that now that I think about it, I'm not sure. Um, but I asked my friends and they were like, you should totally give them the ebooks. And so I'm like wondering like is that another one of those like some kind of add-on that you could do where you don't show it to people who have already purchased the ebooks? Like you could do a segment. Can you segment who the upsell is shown to?
Yes, like what product they bought.
Yeah. So like if they've already bought for $22.99 the ebook
Mhm,
bundle,
mhm,
I don't want to be like, oh great, you're buying the paperbacks. You could have the ebooks free, you know, because then I'm gonna get like however many people coming back and being like, hey, I already paid for these. Can
mhm.
I don't really want to make a ton more work for myself.
Yeah.
Um,
There
but
are,
I don't want to be like a dick, you
yeah.
know? I mean, like I want to be nice, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are ways to do that. However, it's not really worth your time right now. That's the thing.
Okay,
Just
okay.
because
Yeah,
that's kind of like that once in a million customer that asks that type of thing. Because it
right,
is very clearly stated on every single site that you have to buy the ebook and buy the paperback, especially if you have the formats right there. So I just really wouldn't worry
right,
about it.
right. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And it's like if
Yeah.
somebody asks, just send it to them. Be like, sure, here you go.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
or I know I'm like, I don't want to say no. Be like, no.
Yeah. I mean
Thanks for
the
spending, you know, for buying this 10 book bundle that you're shipping to Canada.
yeah.
No, I need your the extra few dollars for the ebooks too. But
Yeah.
um, okay.
exactly.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, of course. But I do have,
Nobody else has some questions. Can I get some help with my ad copy?
yeah, of course. Let's take a look at it.
Uh, let me make sure I've got the right screen open. That one.
Awesome.
So this is for the new campaign.
Mhm. This is for the motorbike scene.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
So the first three are the hero's point of view, and then the last one's her point of view.
Okay. And then this is our dialogue from the book as well.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
I'll have to adjust that for her point of view and things like that. But
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the only thing here is we'll want to clearly show the trope and what's kind of happening in the scene. So, she slid the motorbike helmet over her head and kicked her the bike roadie.
the thing that I'm struggling with is setting the scene. Like it appears that you don't set the scene. Like Cameron gave me some feedback on my other ad copy.
Mhm.
But I mean, this is towards the very end of the book, so you know, I don't have any. They walked into the bar and crashed into people type of scenes. I've and I don't have any alpha heroes, and maybe I'm just wordy. I don't know, but I really struggle to pare it down any shorter than that without making it confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing here, so what's their relationship up until this point in the book?
Well, they're together.
They are together. Okay. And so what are the tropes that we can kind of highlight between them from this point?
Well, I mean, he's a shy cinnamon roll hero,
Mhm.
so he doesn't do well in crowds.
Okay.
So the fact that her friends are grinning at him is, you know, quite embarrassing for him.
Mhm.
But again, you can't kind of put that detail in without putting a lot of more words in.
Mhm. Let's see. I would definitely try it from his point of view, but third person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one is here, but I would try it from like he thought it was incredibly sexy to watch her slide the motorbike helmet over her head.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with starting out just directly into the scene is that we don't get the initial dynamic between them, so we don't know that they're already in a relationship. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? So we want to
Yeah.
be able to convey that part initially.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll have to go back over the scene and figure out what on earth is happening before that.
I mean, I would even say too, since he is the hero, I would just start it out with like when he's at the racetrack watching his girlfriend race or something like that. Like just completely kind of not skipping over, but just taking this part out of the equation and just going directly into the fact that he's there watching her race, and then he goes to check on her when she crashes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, but she's not racing. So I struggle between being accurate to the story and just writing copy.
Okay.
Because she's the president of the motocross track. The race hasn't started yet. She has to do a check of the track before everyone to make sure everything's okay before they start the racing.
Oh,
That's
that's
sort of
fine.
standard
Okay.
motocross
Yeah.
stuff. But like so yeah, she's going out by herself.
Got it. So just instead of saying racing, I would say like when he's at the track watching his girlfriend like go through and check everything. You could obviously word this a little bit simpler. And she crashes, he goes to check on her, that type of thing. So that kind of introduces the fact that they're dating and the fact that he's kind of going to rescue her in a sense.
Okay. All right. I'll see what I can see if I can make it interesting.
Yeah. Does that kind of make sense? How you really just want to like dive into things, but not so much that like we're starting out with just the middle of the scene. We want to be able to give the readers a sense of what the dynamic is before we jump into like what's happening.
All right. So if I really want to know that it's a motorbike. I don't know. I'll fix something up.
No, but you have the right format going here. Honestly, some words just need to be changed around, but you're on the right track with introducing, because now we know it's him, that's his girlfriend, they're at the racetrack and she's on the motocross bike. So you did a good introduction there. Yeah.
All right. I'll play around with that then and
Yeah.
we'll see how I go.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So I have a question related to this.
Yeah.
How spoilery can you get? Like I have other scenes from my first book that I can pull from, but I'm like, at some point I'm gonna be like giving all the juicy bits.
Yeah. I mean, as much cliffhangers that you can leave, it's better because we obviously don't want to give away the story. And there are many ways that you can kind of rewrite scenes. So I would try to not give any spoilers away if you can. But there are also times too where you can be kind of vague, like if it's a part of the second book, then they won't be reading the second book until they read the first, obviously. So I would just try to be as vague as much as possible and not give away too many spoilers. Yeah.
I think I pretty much just straight out spoil my first book in lots of my ad copy. And it's been okay so far. No one's been upset about it.
Yeah.
Just because it's one continuous story, but I'm like, okay, there's some of these other scenes that I could use, but at some point, if someone sees all my videos, they're gonna get most of the plot of the first book.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's the thing too. They won't see all of them, so they won't know everything. Most of them convert off of like one scene that was put out. So they're not seeing the entire big picture there. They're only just seeing parts of it. So
got it. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to be more vague.
Yeah. And I would say too, like if you do have to spoil something in the book, just make sure it's not like the biggest cliffhanger part of the book. Like it's if it's a small part, that's okay. Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions? Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and get this call wrapped up. I'll go ahead and drop this in the folder. And everyone have a great week, and we'll talk next week. All right, bye y'all.